So the EPA test also measures the grams per hour that's certified during the low, medium, and high burn rate. As a manufacturer, you're allowed to choose between two different methods of fuel that are used inside that stove. You can use the crib fuel method, which is a quantity of 4x4s and 2x4s with 1x2s nailed on the end, and this is what they call crib fuel. And they use this to simulate wood burning inside the stove. Or you can use actual cordwood, stuff that you use at home every day. This is what you buy, unless you got a mill that you get all these mill-ins and they're all nice and dry for you, and they're free of knots. You get to select out how you make your lumber so you get as few knots as possible. Cordwood test, you use cordwood. All of the Travis stoves are tested with the cordwood standard, which requires 12 pounds per cubic foot of firebox for the EPA test. So the bigger the firebox, the more cordwood that has to get used in it. For example, a 2 cubic foot firebox would require 24 pounds of cordwood. If I use crib fuel, I use 7 pounds per cubic foot, so I'd only have to have 14 pounds of crib fuel in a 2 cubic foot firebox, so a lot less fuel. So it's a harder test to use cordwood because there's a lot more uncertainty about the wood, the graining, and the density when I use cordwood. And I use more of it, so I have more mass of wood inside that firebox, so it's more of a challenge. So if I use cordwood, I have to be below 2.5 grams per hour during the test. If I use crib fuel, it's 2 grams or less per hour. Two different types of test. This one obviously is going to burn cleaner, so it has a lower number. This one's going to be tougher to do, but it's the real world. This is what you're going to experience operating in your home when you actually start burning your stove and have cordwood in it. For the last 30 years, cribwood is what the standard has been for the entire industry, so it's a kind of a uniform test, and everybody was using the same sort of fuel inside their stoves. But since 2015, the cordwood standard has come into play as an optional test, and we saw it as not only an advantage to what the real world is, but that we had technology that we had developed that could burn the cordwood and burn it as clean or sometimes cleaner than the cribwood. And again, this is simulating what you're going to use inside of your home, inside of your retail stores, and what your customers are going to use. So we've gone to 100% cordwood standard.